Back, Frigid here as always, continuing on with Canto 8 of Limbus Company. Elevated Virus Jade Hall, okay. Young Master Bao Yu and his 12 companions arriving at Tuatang. We entered the hall where the first round was to be held. As always, the servant by the gate announced our arrival with the resounding holler we'd grown to expect. An arena or stadium, I see. We have many eyes on us, Executive Manager. Looked up to see the audience seats, which were brimming with people, were divided into stair-like terraces. And on the platform at the opposite end of the hall, 3 shadows of chairs could be seen cast in the obscuring curtain fabric. As for us, followed the attendant's guidance and stood next to the other participants at the circular area in the center. So, are the evaluations happening past those curtains? You? See someone you recognize? No, it's nothing, Dante. Even if we were to meet again, we don't really have anything to talk about anyway. Maybe we'll have another chance later if fate wills it. Oh hey, I think it's finally getting started. The curtain slid open and the old one we saw from yesterday's banquet walked out to the platform. Many scores ago, I ascended to the seat of Jabu. The stroke of fortune. Yet a lifetime has passed as I assumed this great responsibility. Such as it is, I seek to abdicate and walk the path of mountains and streams as a river does. The seat voided, the responsibility seeks the one with the qualities of the family hierarchy to fill it. Thus, here at Don Guanyan, a collective upheld by pillars of 4 great houses of Jia, Shui, Wang, and Xi, we once again ask you the perennial question. Have you brought us aught to prove that the answer indeed exists? Who's the woman next to her? Ah, she's my oldest sister, Big Sister Yuan Chun. She married a very important person at Q Corp and spends most of her time there. Looks like she's visiting for the event. Though I have resided in a long enough foreign nest, I now return fleetingly to share the love with my flesh and blood, to fulfill my duties as observed by the order of filial piety. I return that the truth shall be observed to the best of my abilities. Some of you may have walked a laid path gentle to your feet, yet some of you may have struggled through an unlaid, brutal path of cragged mountains 1,000-fold to find your answers. Yet regardless of the severity of your suffering, all of you, equally, have but one opportunity for the first round. Even still, you are all once prospective heirs of the Great House. Even your failures shall bring power and prosperity to Dagwanyan. Now, come forth in the order you are summoned, and demonstrate the invaluable answers to the question of 3 freedoms. One from aging, one from death, and one from brevity of life. If one were free from death, it would stand to reason that you'd be free for the brevity of life. If the nature of your answer be indemonstrable, present ironclad proof. Lose not and discard not. Let fresh youth be unending and eternal. After the respective speeches, Jia Yuanchun and Jia Mu disappeared behind the curtains atop the platform. First candidate. It seemed that Hong Li's father assumed the role of the host for the first round. Ren of the Wang family. Wang Ren, the first to be summoned, walked up to the platform. Behind him was his faction, who were dragging someone by a rope toward the platform. Hurry up, foolish thing! What? Who are they dragging up to the stage? Whoever it is, they clearly don't want to be here. To be free from age and death, huh? I suppose everyone dreams of escaping and rising beyond the body they're born with. Age Court's pursuit of immortality probably isn't special in that regard. He hath brought a blood bag! That's when we were finally able to recognize who the candidate dragged up to this stage. The eyes unfocused and red, mouth slick with drool dribbling down the mouth guard, meaning the snarling. That is a mindless blood bag. How does a blood feed become an answer to immortality? In layman's terms, in layman's eyes, blood fiends may appear to have truly attained freedom from aging. However, as we are now all aware, blood fiends can grow old and weak after a prolonged period of blood deprivation. Thus, it is unlikely to provide the answer they seek. After some struggle, the blood bag was dragged kicking and growling past the curtains atop the platform. So that creature is the flavoured blood fiend, then. I doubt that'll do the job. Blood fiends would indeed be quite the esoteric knowledge, but to the judges of this contest, I doubt they're anything more than lukewarm trivia. That Wayne kid must have been pretty desperate, huh? He's either lazy as balls, or that boy right in the upstairs. It appears that the knowledge of blood fiends is oddly common amongst this ilk. Indeed, blood fiends are present in every nest. It is little surprise that those privy to arcane knowledge are well aware of their existence. After a brief moment that lasted less than a minute, Wang Ren and his faction emerged from behind the curtains and descended from the platform. Wang Ren, candidate to family hierarchy evaluations, stand upon the podium and await your judgment. Then they ascended the round podium behind the platform as ordered. Thus announcing Wang Ren's results for round 1 of the family hierarchy evaluations. Elimination. No! Listen, all they need is blood. As long as you supply them with enough blood, they'll be eternal and everlasting. Venerable Jabu, please. Nay, what awaits them is no eternity at all. Verily, I know not the shape of this true immortality the evaluation seeks to attain, yet longevity of a blood fiend shackled by blood and endless suffering is unlikely to be one. What? But those damn hunters told me they still retain all of their memories! To become a blood fiend is to surrender all the desires and emotions that exist within that being for a singular hunger for blood, and only blood. Perhaps that is an acceptable condition for those who expect nothing but fathomless torment for the rest of their lives. And for those with much to lose, with much in life they cling on to, as those present seem to, the fate of a blood fiend is no freedom from aging and death. It is but a sanguine shackle to enslave their minds. A member of Bao Yu's faction has given an excellent reply. No further elaboration is necessary. You have failed to bring us a high kindred, let alone a blood fiend at all. This creature is but a miserable blood bag. We cannot even well commend your efforts. Here, Ren of the Wong family. They have spoken, mercifully giving you the full explanation of your mistake. A privilege that failed candidates do not deserve. Let this be the final blessing of your life. Did they drop him through a trap door? Yes, they did. The podium suddenly opens under their feet, casting Wang Ren and the blood bag to its depths with a blood-curdling screech. So that's what happens when you fail to pass. That's just for dramatic effect, right? There's gotta be like a side path leading back upstairs, right? Of course not. Can't you smell the stench of festering pain rising like heat from the depths? Yoshi, you've been honing your sense of humor, huh? These are some pretty nasty jokes, though. Where does that hole lead? Judging by the time between the drop and the sound of the fall, I presume it goes quite far down. It probably leads to a place with lots of old family secrets. Oh, not treasures, of course, but trying to figure that out might get you a visit from my Hey show, probably. I don't know, it kind of reminds like they went all out with the theatrics. Kind of reminds me of, like, some of the, because I think I like saw like some old Warner Brothers cartoons or the like, where like someone would be trying to put on like a performance for like some kind of audition or something, and when they'd be rejected, it's like the guy behind like the judge or the guy behind the desk just like push a button or pull a lever to trapdoor would underneath them. And we could very well be the one screaming at falling down the hole later. Next candidate was summoned before we were even able to shake off the initial shock. Second candidate hails to the Shui family. We sat through a few more names and the subsequent failures. We couldn't hear what exactly they were what they were talking about beyond the curtains, and unlike the very loud and obvious blood bag, the answers of the candidates brought were less obvious, so all we had to go on were the shadows of their desperate attempts to explain things before the judges. Another one. It means boring as hell. The longer we watched the death toll rise, the less shocking they became. I plan to fail everyone. 8th candidate, outside the Shui family. Oh my, look, we know her! She was technically our competition, but it seemed that she managed to give the sinners quite this positive impression with yesterday's brief encounter. Some of them were even cheering her on. We couldn't see exactly what it was that Shui Baochai brought, but she was also holding something as she entered past the curtains. Baochai of the Shui family. After a brief meeting with the judges, which going by the shadows cast on the curtains appeared to have gone better than we had expected, she emerged. And as soon as she did, Baochai immediately turned in that direction, at Tonglu to be exact. How about you? Are you watching me? And began excitedly waving her hand. She passes. Podium beneath her remained shut. Passing connection it may have been. It is ill wish to see a familiar face to be claimed by the abyss. Thus, I am glad. 17th candidate, Jia Shichun of the Jia family. It's Shichun's turn. She slowly ascended the platform, unaccompanied. She held in her hands a tightly sealed gourd bottle. Looks like she found it. She found the water from the river we saw in Don Quixote's memories back then? Impossible. She reached Leth? The possibility that she actually reached there in person is infinitely minuscule. There's an infinitesimally statistical possibility that she could have reached the river, yet even Faust can conceive how someone of her capabilities could reach the fountainhead of one of the deepest fathoms. This becomes even more impossible when considering the relatively short passage of time since then and now. The more likely explanation might be that she obtained the waters by collecting its dew or a portion of what has been seeped out. Or what has seeped out. Alas, the river's water serves only to put to slumber one's memories. Pray, doth it truly hold a link to the immortality they seek? Yes, it is likely closely connected to the immortality of the mind they pursue. As there are but an extremely small number of people privy to the knowledge of the rivers, the contents of that bottle are genuine. Faust expects her to pass. Shichun of the Jia family passes. You have brought before us a priceless treasure. You must have taken unparalleled efforts to obtain this, given the meager size of your clan. Thank you, big sister Yeonchun. As Faust expected, all three judges appeared quite satisfied by what Jia Shichun brought before them. That's it for the level? Huh. End Corp. Oh, those goons again? That could be a bit of a problem with the next event coming up.
이것도 점점 파악되어 가기 시작했어요.
I have a hunch that the currency for the next event probably gets a. I have a hunch that it probably gets a boost for each W Corp identity you get, or each W Corp identity you have. Thought I had at least one other though. Was I mistaken? When did I get that one? Not complaining, I just don't remember when I got it. Ugh. Darn it. So one more to get that 130 lunacy, huh?
그 다음 18번째 참가자.
Pressure's off. Next, 18th candidate. Boy, hell, there's not many people out in this household. One of the Jia family. Our first meeting with that maiden was less than amicable, and a strong feeling that another one wasn't going to do anything to improve that. Jia Huan walked up to the platform. Cool duds. They all fell silent hearing a familiar name. Bastard. Could feel that some students were growing tense, some of them even gritting their teeth. And the other man, closely following Jia Huan, holding what looked like the egg of an abnormality, was also a familiar face. I'd seen him many times in Yi Sang's memories. How the heck is he keeping the abnormality in its suppressed form, though? Dante, are you seeing what they're wearing? Ego gears. It can be speculated that they have either developed their own method of extraction or have scavenged them from the Lobotomy Corporation. Kubo carries what appears to be an egg of an abnormality. I'm planning to just offer them an abnormality egg. How's that an answer to anything? Well, there is room for interpretation. Some may present a reasonably argued interpretation that abnormalities are entities that neighbor immortality. So the linchpin of their success hinges on which abnormality's egg that ends up being. If it's Big Brother Jia Huan, I know. He's never going to risk his life for something he thinks will fail.
가시환 1차 심사
Bond of the Jia family passes the first evaluation. Contrary to most of our wishes, Jia managed to pass the first round as well. Many more candidates came and went. One of them carried a massive, mysterious coffin. One of them brought a thick book. One of them presented a cage so tiny that we couldn't see what was within. Some of them managed to pass, while some of them were sent screaming into the mysterious abyss. As we waited and watched the candidates come and go, people from N Corp, their turn complete, approached us. Yet early as it is for twilight to arrive. Thus early too is this meeting of ours. As if to prove his own words back at the LCE, that he's come to accept certain things as they are, Yisang coolly regarded his old friend, who is now working for N Corp. I must find this small and barren respite of yours quite enjoyable. I've not seen you just as you do now since the League fell. What do you know? What do you now approach me? The rift is too great betwixt us to chatter on with any affection to speak of. Do not mistake my intent, for it wasn't I who desired to approach you. My teammate simply wished to have a look at his brother's face, and I thought I might as well see how you're faring. Looks like everyone's coming back to Guanyan, now that the family hierarchy wars started. This is our first meeting since then, right? Ha! It is an adultish fool who has eyes but knows not how to see. I know you well enough. You normally turn purple with aversion upon hearing even a brief mention of the word hierarch. So, why are you here? Who are you and your stinking entourage working for this time? Is that Shui girl blinded by your looks to the revolting rot within? Or is it Shi Chun who still defends you and your meaningless faux profound spiel deluded in her belief that you're still the same boy from her childhood? Why did you save him? No, let me ask you a different question. Why did you save her and only her job about you? Brother, humans die. It's what they're born to do. The next candidate will be judged soon. Candidates must return to their seats. You're a servant. You're barely even a living thing. Let's return. This discourse will not bear any fruit. What's this? A reunion party? That's just solid things. Those shameless bastards. It's obviously here to neck on things again. Maybe, but something about them feels different today. Whichever is the case, the safer option would be to place higher than them. When another one falls, this family has to be watching this, right? I wonder if they'll be okay. Sinclair mutters, watching another candidate fall down the trap door. I can't imagine how anyone would be okay watching their own family fall like. Sinclair, the people sitting behind us. And they're his parents, the guy who just fell. We raised that failure as our own son. What a pathetic disappointment. Don't worry. I have faith in our third child. I mean, it's not like we expected anything from this one, right? Man. It's one big messed up family. Now I see what it means to dedicate your whole life to becoming the family hierarch. Many people desperately vie for the seat of family hierarch. Of course, some of them, like his parents, hope to have their friend or close blood relative become the family hierarch instead. So they seek to seize a lifetime's worth of riches, power, and recognition by planting someone they can control in the family hierarch seat without becoming one themselves. That kid's got a low shelf life. Looks like I finally got to know how my long-lost siblings are doing, thanks to this unforeseen opportunity. 27th candidate, Pan of the Shui family. Oh, that dude looks creepy as all get out. Shui Pan? Have we heard that name before? Ah, he's Big Sis Bachai's older brother. Shui Pan walked up to the platform, holding what appeared to be a large jar with multiple talismans plastered over it. Hey, is it just me, or does that guy look like he's totally up to something?
여기 안 그런 사람이 어디
Let's
있어?
be honest, who here doesn't? Yeah, but that saw's different. Yeah, but that saw's different. Instead of ascending to the platform and into the curtains, he walked up to the podium. Wait, it looks to me like he's completely lost the plot.
참가자 설반.
Cadet Shui-pan will ascend to the platform, enter the curtain threshold. Where's the fun in walking down the straightforward road? It's only right that something so precious and entertaining should be shared with everyone. Wouldn't you agree? Places the jar on the ground, and from within, a desiccated hand emerges.
술 따위로 장난질을 치는군.
That sorcerous trickery. Yoshi muttered with palpable distaste. Why is he?
안에서 뭐가 나온
What the heck is that? Corpses, the desiccated flesh covered in a light, sparse layer of old papers, crawled out of the jar and began to shamble. Oh crap, did he bring the cast from Thriller? Well, probably not. I don't remember any of the zombies in the music video for that being covered in paper talismans. They're neither distortions or abnormalities. Their behavior reminds me of blood bags, or some entities enslaved by abnormalities. Any semblance of consciousness has been stripped from them. They'll attack indiscriminately. But it seems that they're just as intent on maiming and killing whoever they can get their claws on. Executive Manager, we must prepare for battle. Your orders. Ugh. Alright, everybody out! Jar monsters set upon the audience, stuffing the struggling, still breathing victims into their jars. Why aren't the organizers doing anything? This is still an event hosted by a wing, isn't it? Because there isn't a rule in the family hierarchy that prohibits bringing harm to other people. So they're just gonna sit back and twiddle their thumbs because no one specifically told them to step in? What the hell?
어떻게 해야 해? 우리가
Well, what do we do now? Should we step in? We should probably survive and ensure our safe participation in the family hierarchy.
이게 뭐야?
What the hell are these? Get away from me! As the monster begins to swarm in, some cadets scouted and ran away, while some stood their ground and fought back. Those who did neither were the ones getting slaughtered. I was simultaneously reminded of Sueda, the confident smile she flashed at me as she reassured us that we should be able to pass the first round with little to no trouble. Looks like we have no choice but to take them down. Someone got like multiple heads sticking out. Hmm. 12 rounds, huh? Well, crap. I got some real high rollers here. Oh, crap. That's a rather nasty skill. It could potentially hit like a truck with that. Heck, just as is, it's liable to.
먹을 콱 물어버리자.
뭐라 너는 못해. 토끼를 본다. 저 해충들을 도려내라. 묘야. 길을 열어. 넌 품을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
This is gonna suck. No, not this turn.
이 거리는 충분해. 너한텐 멀겠지만.
그쪽 방이 아닐 텐데. 목을 떨궈주마. 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
Nailed it. How many do I have left? 9. Ow. That would do it.
자, 대부분 쪽일지 잘 생각해보라고. 저
이
해충들을
거리는 충분해.
도려내라.
너한텐 멀겠지만.
사요. 지구.
놀랐어? 이 거리는 충분해. 너한텐 멀겠지만.
물론 제 차례. 눈부시지 않도록 두려워하지 마.
Ah, great. That one's back again. Huh? How'd she get staggered? Must have been some rupture. Said he wasn't clashed against anything before. Odd.
개의치 않고 말씀을.
Oh crap, I don't have a way to... for her to actually use her clashable counter. I think... yeah. Don't worry, it's all part of my plan.
일기당천. 다음 세상으로 넘어가려면 자, 여기구나. 뭐하건 뭐는 없어. 더는 못 따라나.
이제 깨우치시길.
Eh, 31. Getting there. Man, it seems we're probably going to need that sinking team earlier than or sooner than I thought.
불가 위야. 막아내지 못하리. 이 전투는 승리할 거예요. 이제 깨우치시길.
물넘고 꺾여 제차.
퉁퉁투성네.
And that's all of them.
또 한 줄 길을 남겼구나. 핏물진 길이지만.
Yeah, come to think of it, I don't know of any literary works in which there were golden bows that were a MacGuffin.
뭘 바꾸었는지를.
I mean, I know that there's a golden fleece in the story of Jason and the Argonauts.
보는 눈은 있네요. 나를 불렀나? 주인놈
걸맞는 곳이어야 할 거다.
나를 불렀나? 필두 출진.
이상이요. 행색이 이상하나 그럼에도 이상이요. 내가 맞서. 내가 아시의 이상을 함께 줬던 호위 이상이요.
That's still not very favorable.
불가 위야. 막아내지 못하리.
Oh, come on! Are you kidding me? Sandy didn't drop. That's good, I guess. Left 10. Alright.
날개를 펼치고 발톱을 걸어. 도끼를 보내라. 저 해충들을 도려내라. 묘야, 넌 숨을 틔울 수도 없겠구나. 목을 떨궈주마.
Oh shit, he corroded. That was not supposed to happen. Bad, Gregor! Bad! That's okay, I should still be able to recover from this. Should, that's the key word here.
일기당천.
이 거리는 충분해. 너한텐 조금 멀겠지만.
무상한 목숨. 불끈한 지원일 뿐.
정작 이 정도 탕미의 허리나. 넌 숨을 틔울 수도 없겠구나. 물론껏 꺾고 제쳐라.
Ah, man, those are terrible odds.
불가.
시비수.
마당에 깨우치시게.
정작 이 정도 탕미의 허덕이나. 그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
Okay, good. 0%. Kind of what I need.
장품은 승리할 거예요.
깔끔하군. 답은 어디로? 정작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나. 넌 품을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
There we go. What remained inside the hall after the battle was devastating. Many in the audience seats had fled as the seats that were once brimming with people were only half filled. And the candidate zone down here was littered with bodies of candidates who were mauled to death. Meanwhile, the jar monsters, having eaten their fill, had already crawled back into the jar. I looked around and saw some candidates still holding tightly onto the treasures they each had brought to the contest, even as they drew their last breaths. In the midst of all this destruction stood the cause of this chaos, watching the slaughter play out with assured confidence. He's batty.
이렇게 우둔하고 나약해서야 어찌 불로를 얻고 불사를 말할 수 있겠느냐?
How will you attain freedom from aging? How will you argue freedom from death with mind so dull and body so frail?
어떻습니까?
What say you, judges? I present before you not only the clue to immortality, but also treasure that brings ruin to those who would dare to deceive you. Here's my answer to the perennial question. So you have brought us the clay of the jar. It can be said that those who failed to survive this do not qualify as firmly higher candidates. Yes? Band of the Shui family passes. You guess the passing almost got everyone in here killed.
저들의 기준에는 부합되었던
All
것이
that matters is that what he has brought meets their standards.
겸사겸사 나약한
Looks like he managed to get two birds with one stone. He eliminated the distracting rabble from the competition.
혹시라도 이 차전에서만
There were a lot bossing around too. You better let me take more than a few swings at him.
28번째 참가자
28th candidate, She Dozen of the She family. No one walked up to the platform.
모습을 드러내지
As he has failed to
않았기에
appeal, he is eliminated by default. Jia Zhen called a few more names thereafter, but
29번째
29th candidate,
30번째
30th candidate.
언뜻 보기에도 인원이 줄었군.
Number of candidates has clearly been culled, but none appeared.
둘 같으니
Disappointingly, MB.
확실히
Yeah, all the mediocre bunch got wiped out from that attack.
남은 것들도
The leftovers are exhausted. Yoshi looked around as though she was doing some sort of critique. Huh? That lug. Cool looking sword he's got there. Is it a belt bandolier of bullets? He's got taste. No, seriously, the drip with this is insane, man.
이렇게
이야 어따가
Wow.
한가했더만
I'll be
이런 데서 늦자고 없이
how
나타났지?
you gone vanishing in the earth? What the hell you doing crawling around out here?
야
Girl, I saw you give me the evil eye.
인사라도
At least have the decency to say hi. Yo, Yoshi, that guy's talking to you, right? And in a very, very rare display of raw emotion, I realized that she was anxious and furious. Oh, do you know him?
뭔
I'm absolutely in it. Looks got to be at least 2 meters tall.
사자를 바라보지 마세요, 단테.
Do not look at that man, Dante, and everyone avert your eyes as well.
아무 말씀도 하지
It
마시고.
is strongly recommended that we do not say a word to him.
아재
That's right, Shrimps. You gotta first rack that teensy brains of yours. Gotta think real hard about whether you even come close to my rank before running your mouths, you hear?
저 새끼 손가락이다. 내 획.
That shithead lay hung. He's a finger.
엄지는
The
손가락
thumb is a syndicate with the strictest adherence to rigid hierarchical structure even among the fingers.
그리고 차자는
And his placement in the hierarchy is the highest even among their capos. His rank is immediately beneath the position of a Soto Capo, or underboss.
자그마한 실수가 큰 싸움으로
A
번질 수
small mistake
있으니
could drag us into a battle we
전부
do not
조용히
want to
해주실
fight.
것을 명령해
Please
주세요.
order everyone not to say a word, Dante. I don't know what's going on, but I get it. You're saying that we're this close to having another Ricardo beat and hunting us down, right? Yeah, let's avoid that. Do as Faust asks, everyone. Lei Hung began stomping his way through the crowd toward us, casually but forcefully shoving anyone his way to the sides. His gait was blasé and brutish, but I noticed that his eyes were fixed intently on Ryoshu. It seemed that among the crowd were some people in higher positions as well, but even they either averted their eyes or voluntarily got out of his way. He marched confidently through the frozen crowd as though he was familiar with this kind of reception, until a cry rang out from the crowd.
에바, 너 지금 어느 안전이라고 남궁현아 도련님의 자리.
You there, you big brute! How dare you block young Master Nangong Shanhai's view? I'll have you know that you stand before the virtue of the Nangong family, the house that shall soon be one of the 4 houses. Instead of a reply, we heard a blast of gunpowder, and saw the right arm of the man who spoke out catapult into the air. The scream muffled as Lei Hung forcibly shoved his giant hand down the man's throat. Though at the sound of wet meat being pulled apart, he ripped the entire length of the man's tongue out through the mouth.
남궁현아도 아버들이 단속 못했으니까 오른팔 하나는 내
Ripping his tongue out seemed a bit excessive. Master and going, Shanghai, ain't ya? Y'all me an arm now. Mighty sorry, but you should have kept a tighter leash on your boy's John. The young master of some prestigious house presented his right hand, though it was clear that he was utterly terrified. Lei Hung proceeded to grab his hand and break it off his forearm like snapping a twig.
반가운 낯짝 봐서
I'm uneasy on you, boy. Seeing a friendly face put me in a good mood.
거미적은 그립겠어. 여긴 그리울
Anywho, I don't reckon you missed the spider's house. I can't imagine why anybody would. Gives me the heebie-jeebies too, whenever I gotta swing by.
나중에 얼굴 좀 보자.
I got some catching up to do later. I'll teach you to hold your sword real good, and right like back when. Aren't mine the best out of them all? I thought I taught you how to make every cut feel real friggin' delicious.
류슈 씨, 아직 때가 아닙니다.
Ryoshu, now is not the time. Faust whispered to Ryoshu in a low voice without raising her head. Shut up for a damn second.
사전의 약속을
Faust
아직
trusts that you still
기억하십니다.
remember the promise made prior to your employment.
어깨에 힘좀 빼라.
Get that sick out of your behind, kiddo. I ain't here to pick you up. I sure as hell ain't trying to teach you a lesson either. Like back with Wen. We still at that house, ain't that right? Yoshi's grabbing the hilt of her sword like she was about to unsheath it. The same sword she refused to unsheath for the duration of our entire journey. Huh? Am I wrong about that? Just what in tarnation happened then? I ain't exactly nose deep in them fellas' business, you gotta understand. That's something sure as hell went down though, didn't it?
겁나 재밌다.
Why is he keeping that cigarette up like that? He clearly let go of it with his mouth. It's like some kind of, capo secret art or something. That's something. So you're really fixing to unsheath that blade?
류슈 씨,
Yes, Ryoshu. In a quiet but coldly stern voice, Faust calls Ryoshu's name. Ryoshu. What the heck? Why does that tune sound vaguely familiar? Ah, dang it. What? Gosh, my bad, y'all. I gotta take this. This is the underboss calling. Y'all gotta understand. Alright, then. I'll meet you later. We can talk about your daddies or shoot some other shit then. See you around, Yoshihide. The strange man turns around and stomps his way through the crowd again, his booming voice reverberating across the entire hall as he loudly and boisterously answers the call. He's got to be here for the family hierarchy war, right?
누가 가주가 되느냐에 따라
The outcome of the family hierarchy evaluation determines the immediately foreseeable future of H Corp.
보이지 않는
Two
곳에서
great parties have very possibly clashing interests here.
그래도 히스클리프 씨.
Hey Heathcliff,
참아줬네.
I guess you didn't rush ahead this time. I was worried it's gonna be like the time with the middle. I don't think it's about the thumbback from my syndicate days. And about what happened at the middle? Like I said, I have no bloody idea what those things belong to. Besides, that sod is more powerful and violent than Ricardo, the individual who we had encountered in the past. The thumb commands its own manner of terror and violence, unlike that of the middle. As we were all sharing impressions of Lei Hung, I found Ryoshu frozen in place, in the same position she had been in when Lei Hung walked past her, spacing out.
소지까지인가?
All the way to the pinky, huh? Yoshi muttered something to herself, as even further chaos was about to overtake the crowd and the candidates.
32번째 참가자
32nd candidate, Jia Chu. Zhao Zhang called upon the next candidate, and at the mere mention of the name, the chaos that had swallowed the hall immediately settled into a hushed silence. Are those two both of a Heisho pack? That sword kind of makes me think she might be. Either that or she's with the pinky. Although if there's a pinky syndicate, does that mean that there's a brain syndicate? Probably not. Judge, who walked up to the platform, unaccompanied by his own faction, but not alone. Who are those people next to Jia Chu?
저는 초면이네요.
I've never met them before.
아,
Oh, and that must mean that they're big brother Jia Chu's answers to immortality.
대체 어떤 사람들이길래?
Who could they possibly be?
전투적으로 그렇게 뛰어난 자들 같지
Neither of them
않아
appear to be
보이거든.
particularly skilled in combat. Yeah, they're both constantly looking around like they're nervous.
저자는
They are...
도서관의 생존자라고
Faust believes that they are survivors of the library. Survivors?
피할 수 없었던
The only ones who survived the impossible, inevitable odds, and the insurmountable force.
유일하게 살아남아
They're the only survivors who may be able to explain that very force.
있기도요.
Possibly.
1차 심사 참가자
Candidate Chu of the Jia family. Jia Chu didn't spend much time behind the curtains. He walked out soon after, his steely expression unchanged from when he entered.
증언을 들어보니
The testimony rings true. They are both survivors of the place that soared beyond the star of the city before it vanished.
당시 초대장을
It is a shame that we were unable to procure ourselves an invitation then. Are you sure it's a shame? Because it didn't end well for anybody that got an invitation. He passes. Jia Chu's expression did not budge.
인간이라는 걸 하긴 했을까?
Anxiety's got to be a foreign concept to that guy.
그럼
Either that or he's got
남은 참가자는 더 이상
the world's best poker face. Then that covers all the candidates, it
이
seems.
자리에 와주신
With the first round complete
모두에게
to all four families who have graced this hall.
잠깐만요.
Excuse me. Unlike Jia Chu, whose appearance plunged the hall into utter stillness, Hong Lu's sudden interjection roused the room to a roaring chaos of confusion once again. Bao Yu? What?
아직 마지막
I
참가자가
think you
남은
might
것
have missed a
같아서요.
candidate.
그게 무슨 말이냐
What do you mean? I believe we have covered every candidate present in the list.
제가 남았거든요.
You missed me.
다시 가문의 보기.
Jia Bao Yu of the Jia family will partake in the family hierarchy evaluations.
또 한 줄 길을 남겼군.
Let's see. 83. Alright.
세월이 지나면 홍호는 그제야 알게 되겠지.
Right.
이 홍로가 무엇 바꾸었는지를.
I'd like to cash in on a lot of those, but I don't think we're gonna be getting much. Isn't that Jia Bao Yu? What's that doing here? What did he just say?
예상은 하고 있었지만
I had a feeling this was going to happen, but
시선을 끌고 있네요.
we really kicked the hornet's nest, huh? Heart, one and all, and gaze upon our glory! The 11th hour, the final band of heroes arrives! He's saying, don't pretend you're not with us, huh? Nice, give it in the audience a wave. Guys, I don't think they're taking the announcement too well. A large portion of the audience is vociferously expressing their collective confusion, wrath, and concern. These emotions are expressed by the jaws that have been opened past a certain degree. As Mirasalt observed, I realized that the chaos wasn't restricted to the audience. No, to the audiences. The kids are starting to get agitated too. And there he is, the disgusting, duplicitous bastard who brings annihilation to everyone around him with that silly, innocent smile.
어떻게 된 거야?
What's going on? I thought Bao Yu was a participant in the Hierarch War. That dumbass. I think she said that before. Explain yourself, now. Miss Sway told me to grab onto your sword like my life depended on it if you said that exact phrase. Blimey, can't we just... She mentioned you too, Heathcliff. She told me that if you ever said anything like, can't we just give her a good beating and be done with it? I should... what a throwback. Decorum, I demand decorum. I hope you do not mean to risk having your body marred. Withdraw your name. It isn't too late. Now. I'm heading in, Father. 33rd candidate, Bao Yu of the Jia family. Come forth. Ready, Dante? I don't know. And? What about you, Ryoshu?
뭐든지 썰고 싶다.
I'm itching to get choppy. Need to vent this shitty feeling. Are you sure you're going to be okay, Faust?
괜찮은 것이 아니라 하더라도
This isn't something that can be done regardless of the soundness of its participants. Faust spoke sternly. I still quite detest this plan.
사실 누구도
Let's be honest for a sec. Are any of us actually happy to go through with this? Okay, I guess that's the one. I guess there's this one. Whatever. Honglu, Yoshu, and I walked up to the platform. Up close, it was much larger, grander, and more imposing than I thought it'd be.
선을 넘어서 들어오거라.
Enter the fabric threshold. Once we walked past the curtains as instructed, we saw Jia Yuanchun, Jia Lu, and Jia Zhang waiting for us inside.
출가의 생에서 어떠한
I know not what in your life beyond the hedges could have wrought this change of heart,
그러니까 가주에 도전하는
but to see you aspire to the seat of hierarch is indeed a sight most curious. It's been a while, big sister. Has the life in Q Corp been treating you well?
많은 것을 보고 배워.
I've seen and learned much,
네가 그랬을 것처럼
as you must have, Bao Yu.
이곳에 발걸음을
Now I see you're truly seen for returning home today. I'm sorry, grandmother. I thought better than to let this be common knowledge.
그렇느냐?
So you did.
의사를 밝히
Now that you have revealed your intent, withdrawal is no longer an option.
그래.
Very well. Now present the answer that you have brought here today. I'm sure you've already sat through many people standing in the same place I am now. I explained to you what it was that they brought. So I suppose you'd much prefer that I give you a straightforward visual demonstration than make you sit through another 1,000-word lecture. Lu gave Yoshu a nod. Yes, I'm okay.
저희가 그들에게 보여줄 수 있는 답은
Our answer that we may be able to demonstrate before them
태시의 힘으로
is a resurrection via Dante's power,
그
to show them that to us, death is but a temporary setback.
그리고 그걸
And the most dramatic demonstration of that ability would be to I'm guessing she didn't have to unsheath it again.
그래.
Indeed, you have surely demonstrated something.
지금까지 나온
You're truly the least dreary part of today, Bao Yu. Aha, I see. So the most effective way to do it would be for me to get killed in front of them, without any room for ambiguity at that.
그렇습니다.
Yes. Then, does that mean that one of us has to make sure that Hoglu no longer lives? What? I didn't beat around the bush. Remember when we did to each other when we first met? Then Heathcliff is the implication that you are still willing to murder Honglu without hesitation. What? Man, did you really have to put it like... Verily, I do not wish to hurt my good companions more than I already have.
다행이라 해야 할지 모르겠지만
Maybe a stretch to say that it is fortunate, however.
저희 중에서
We seem to have an individual among us who may be able to carry out the task in a most painless, swift, and unburdened manner. And everyone immediately turned to look at it. Of course!
그래서
So how would you like to be cut?
뇌회.
Where's that bastard they hung? Who's he working with? It seemed that slicing Honglu in half did nothing to distract Ryoshu from her thoughts. Jabu watched us in silence, motionless in her seat. You have split his brain in half. You have irreversibly ended this child's life. Not even life insurance shall be able to bring him back now. Bao Yu. Well then, what will you do now?
뭘 하더라도
You have no means to restore this jade of the family. For your transgressions, you will
시계
clock spin it. And so it turned. One of the most high-intensity situations I'd ever turned it. The muscle fibers, the nerves, the flesh that was split, all began to reconnect like a rewinding videotape. Huh? Wait, why doesn't this hurt at all? Yoshu's seal with the sword was no joke. I didn't even feel even the slightest bit of discomfort. I doubt Honglu even realized that he was dying.
우리 보기가 못 본 사이에
About you. I realize that it has been a while since we've met.
담대해진 게
He has grown
분명하구나.
quite bold.
짐승 냄새.
I smell beasts. Dark shadows had appeared outside the curtains surrounding us before I even realized what was happening.
소, 닭, 용, 원숭이.
Bull,
흑수군.
rooster, dragon, monkey. The Heishu are here.
불로 불사에 해답을 찾아오라 하였지.
The task was to find the answer to freedom from aging and death.
한계를 무시하고
Not to break a taboo and precipitate the destruction of our home.
이전에
It has not been long since the family that once led Agecorp was brought to ruin. No arbiter nor claw shall ravage the family of Hongyuan again. Zhao Yuanchun appeared ready to command the Heishu to kill us all, but Jabu silenced her with a wave of her hand. You will wait.
가문은
Venerable Jiamu,
부활이 끝나는
once the resurrection is complete, the head will...
그러니 그
We must
전에
end this before they...
일각만
Hold for but 15 minutes at least.
단단히
To be
섣부르는
rash in judgment is to judge incompletely. Wish not to lose either our treasure and a clue to immortality. And Honglu was whole again. Ah,
감사해요, 루시님.
thank you, Yoshu.
정말 아무런
Really didn't hurt at all.
느껴지지 않았어요.
And you too, Dante.
말.
Is she actually smirking?
할머니,
Good mother, big sister Yuanchun.
보셨죠?
Did you see that? This is the immortality I found.
오지 않는 건가?
Are we safe?
무시 불
If aught be owed, a swift vengeance shall arrive in time. It is simply yet to return. I'm not sure why it's showing that in Mandarin. I think that's traditional Mandarin specifically. It's worth noting there's actually two forms, well, at least two forms of written Mandarin. There's modern and traditional Mandarin. Modern Mandarin is used in mainland China, also known as the People's Republic of China. Traditional Mandarin is used in the Republic of China. Modern Mandarin was created as part of Mao Zedong's efforts to combat illiteracy, which apparently those efforts were rather effective. Also made the propaganda a lot more effective. Jiamu's quiet utterance seems to dissipate the forces that had surrounded us outside the curtains.
가주심사 1차 참가자
Job about you. The first round of the family hierarchy evaluations.
합격이란다.
You pass.
가시복 합격.
Bao Yu of the Jia family passes.
무슨 술수를 쓴 거죠?
What trickery is this? I thought he was off on some sightseeing tour away from Hongyuan like a jobless rich kid. When did he even manage to find his own answer?
1차 심사.
Thus ends the first round.
합격자들은
Those who pass must prepare for the second round, set to commence tomorrow.
2차 심사와의
Remember,
긴급한
the candidates are barred from harming one another in between now and the commencement of the second round of the evaluations.
이것은 유일한 규칙으로
This is your one and only rule.
위반한
Thus,
후보자는
remember it
즉시
well.
탈락된다는
Anyone who dare break it shall immediately be disqualified.
이상.
That is all. As soon as Zhao Zheng announced the end of the first round, everyone in the audience seats began rushing toward the first floor. Getting mixed up with that crowd's probably not a great idea. Let's get out of here. Indeed, let us immediately return to Hong Lu's room. We decided to slip out of here before the curious crowd swept us away. However, as we turned around to leave, stood Jia Chu in our path.
아, 지우
Oh, Big
형님이시군요.
Brother Chu, congratulations on passing the first round.
도련님도 합격하셨다죠?
I hear that you've passed as well, young master. Congratulations are in order, it seems.
평생토록
How's it that you, young master, who has not shown an inkling of ambition toward the seat in the hierarchy,
어쩐 일로 이렇게
suddenly emerge as one of its candidates, positively stealing the show?
뭐 갑자기 욕심
Well, you know, sometimes people get swept up by random surges of ambition.
욕심을 낸 건 도련님이 아니라
Wasn't that surge of ambition your company's and not young master Bao Yu's? Well, if our last meeting didn't confirm it, it sure seems like they know us well.
테두리 안에 있자 하였거늘.
Have we not impressed upon you enough that you were to nicely remain within the borders? Instead, he sparked such disorder at the fringes of his perimeter.
가시춘의 뜻에
I had
휘둘리는
thought that his only role in this design would be to be played as a pawn by Jiashi Chun, no more.
죽은 도련님을 너무
My
과대평가한
lord,
게
perhaps you have
아니신지요?
overestimated this young master.
아직도 나는
Are you still of the belief that inaction is a path without consequences?
전에 인사도 제대로 못
Didn't
드렸네요.
even get to say hello to you. Didn't even get to say hello to you earlier, Brother Chu.
가시 가문의 고
You of the Jia family formally extends his greetings to you.
성인이 된 이후론
I realize that this is the first time we're meeting face to face since I've reached adulthood.
그나저나 이화 형님과
Speaking of which,
김도 씨의 머리는
did you manage to stitch Big Brother Yifu and Mr. Qingtao's heads back into their bodies? Pressure's off. Heathcliff was the first to let a flabbergasted gasp before the other students followed suit.
형제자매끼리는 항상 저런 식으로
I guess that's just how siblings of Hongyuan greet each other, huh?
조차 씨가 유별나게
Seems like Miss Bao Chao is just a particularly nice exception.
답할 이유가 없는 물음을 던질까.
You ask a question that deserves no answer.
일말의 준비도 없이
You have arrived here, unprepared yet ready to cast yourself into the flames, all for the mere reason that your turn had come.
여전히 같은 생각이라면
If your mind hasn't changed, then it would have been wise to remain unseen and unnoticed as you were.
네, 걱정해 주셔서
Yes,
감사해요.
thank you for your concern.
큰
This facade of wisdom and pensiveness worn upon your speech
시질 못하나 보고
is truly intractable.
제가 그랬나요?
Do I do that? Losing Zhao Chu's hand tightened around his weapon, Ishmael quickly jumped in.
아,
Oh, in case you forget, there's a rule preventing candidates who pass the first round from killing each other. Hopefully I'm not the only one who remembers that.
계속
If you're going to continue to bully us, don't be surprised if there are consequences. Otis, you finished the preparations, right? The reinforcements are standing by at the front gates. What reinforcement?
그래서
Which is why I'm warning you that taking any rash action prior to the start of the second round could result in a pointless skirmish for both of us.
허장성세로구나. 애당초 무력은 처음부터 내세울 도리가 아니라 생각한다마는.
A loud boast from an illusory army in an empty fortress, though I believe that sheer might is hardly the quality one should flaunt.
여기서 너희와 겨룰 생각은 없다.
I'm intent on fighting you here.
가보.
Jia Bao Yu, you'll beget great suffering by endeavoring to embrace beyond your abilities.
그러나 부딪혀
Yet, if he still wishes to challenge and be broken, perhaps that outcome is simply meant to be. And with that, they turned around and left us. It seemed that they were here only to give us a warning. What a relief! I thought we'd have to fight Zhao Chu and his Heisho pack.
눈치챈 것 같긴 하지만
They did see right through us in the end, but
데스 씨
hey, nice teamwork, Otis. What unbelievable impudence.
말하는 내내
Did you notice how they did not even glance at the rest of us through that entire exchange? Shui Baochai peeked out from a pillar before walking up to Honglu.
1차 심사 합격한 거 축하해.
Passed the first round. I'm so happy for you. About you. Seriously, what's going on here? I didn't even imagine, even in my wildest dreams, that you'd be participating in the family hierarchy war. Ah.
보차 누나도 1차 심사에서
Congratulations to you
합격한 거
too, Big
축하해.
Sister Baochai, for passing the first round.
나한테 숨겼을 정도면
Gathering from the fact that you hid it even from me, you really
알려주지
didn't want anyone to know,
않았던 거지?
right?
맞아. 아마 나 때문에 다들 시끌벅적해졌을
Yeah, I
것
imagine
같아.
that must have kicked up quite the ruckus with everyone.
괜히
I'm starting to feel kind of bad about this. Somehow I ended up lying to everyone.
뭐 어때요? 뻔뻔해지자고요.
Hey, don't beat yourself up over it. Own it instead.
그렇게 된 거.
Well, if it's all the same to you, then I want to say that I'm so happy that you decided to take part.
왜냐하면
I was worried that you might have already left the Guanyu and so far, far away from me again by the time I was finished with the family hierarchy war.
그렇게 되면
That would have been too bad.
그러니 가주대전에서
So I'm glad that we'll get to spend more time together, even as contestants.
마주치게 되면
Don't forget to say hello and give me a wave if we ever run into each other, okay? Shui Baochai left us to rejoin her faction, waving sweetly as she did so. Hmm? This seems significant. Not quite sure how. Ah, man. Gotta address that sinking feeling. Well, that ain't gonna be nearly enough. Might as well uptie that one
더 유쾌한
for the
연주로
passive.
보답드릴게요.
Alright. And everybody's gonna have to be at least level 50, but it's probably gonna be more like 55 for tackling some of the tougher battles. Ooh. Power plus 1 for every 3 sinking. Clash power plus 1 for every 3 sinking. So, which one? Oh. Right! Clash against targets with less than 0 SP. Clash power +1 deal plus 20% damage. Plus 30% damage against targets with echoes of manner. I'm not quite sure which one's actually all that much. Which one I should go with first.
돌아오셨습니까, 도련님?
You have returned, young master.
좋은
Yep, good
밤이야.
evening, Shiren. Shiren bowed wordlessly in that same detached coldness we sensed earlier. She did not seem at all excited about her master's success today, or did she appear to be concerned about him.
보호 도련님께
A letter has arrived for you, young Master Baoyu.
너무도 확연하게
You didn't even try to hide the fact that the envelope was tampered with, did you?
전달하는 것까지가
My responsibility was to deliver the letter.
온전한 형태로
To
지켜야
protect its
하는
integrity was not one of my obligations.
진모 씨, 이분
Honglu,
당신의
are you sure
시간이
she's your maidservant?
괜찮아요.
It's okay.
틀린 말은 아닌 거죠.
She's not wrong. Shiren, can I ask you something? Geraldine promised to play a rock tossing game with me, but I can't find him anywhere. Well, let's see. How many numbers have you learned so far, young master? Shiren, I learned up to 10. Then he'll be back after 100 nights sleeps. Sleep 10 nights 10 times, and that's 100 nights. Wow, that's so cool. Shiren, you're so smart. It's nothing. It's something we all learned growing up. Shiren, I slept 10 times 10 nights, but I still don't know where Jiaoling's gone. Did I say that young Master Jiaoling was to return? You said he'll be back after 100 nights. Oh, 100 nights is hardly enough, young master. It will take at least 1,000 nights, given what they did to him. I see. You're smart as always, Shiren. Young master, it's been years, but young master Jiaoling's body is still decaying. He has lost control over half of his body. Even after he's fed the boluses I'd sent him, I was told to relay that your boluses were useless, young master. The decay reached his brain, and I heard the other servants gossip that it is impossible to recover from such a wound. The body is functionally dead. Death would be preferable, in fact. So give up your naive hope and forget about him. You're always so smart, Shiren.
관리자님,
I will now read the letter, Executive Manager. Right, yeah. As I stood there pondering, Otis walked up to the front of the letter. Walked up to the front with the letter in hand.
소주 과장님.
This is from Manager Suede. Hello, everyone. I heard you managed to pass the first round. I wrote this letter before I heard the news. Actually, you wouldn't even be reading this letter if you hadn't passed. The heck? Well, let's save the celebrations for later. The real game starts in round 2. The other candidates must have been making alliances, strategies, sharing information about the next round. Meanwhile, you guys stumbled around aimless and alone before returning to your lodging. And here you are reading my letter. Is she watching us from somewhere? That is a very real possibility. maybe she's watching the whole thing kind of like the Truman Show. But not to worry, for your team specifically, round 2 doesn't require much strategizing. Because it'll be messy and continuous battle after battle. So battle on as you always do. Huh? That's what you do best, right? Hold on! I'd like to go into more detail in this letter, but I'm sure this letter will be, and has been, most likely, intercepted by someone from other candidates, clans or coalitions. So in order for you to obtain our objective, you have to rely on what you have learned and gained so far, your intuition and fearlessness. Like I said earlier, we have but one purpose. The textual clues suggest that the one purpose is implied to become in second place and obtain the golden bow. Well, that wraps up everything then. Oh, one last thing. Oh, that was quite the shift in tone. Shameless curs have rested their eyes upon the contents of this letter without authorization shall be struck down with a curse of misfortune lasts generations upon generations. Never shall they ever be successful in any endeavor, regardless of nature. The bottom part of the letter's been torn off, huh? What a way to end a letter. So, does anybody know what to expect in round 2? That letter really didn't help with anything at all. It would be better to learn the exact rules on site and hear from the organizers themselves. It is likely that there are forces who already have their eyes and ears on us. Executive Major, there's someone by the door. Eyes on cue, eh? I don't think that's what this is. Damn it, you grab your weapons, prepare for battle! Despite a rush, the person by the door was none other than Joshi Chun. She wore an expression that we had grown quite familiar with by now, an interesting combination of annoyance and disappointment. Why do I ever expect anything better from you anymore? So you're just opening your front door to anyone without even checking who knocked? Just like that? I thought you were done talking with... yeah, we can be pretty heedless from time to time. I don't think anyone who's intending to kill us would have the decency to stand and hesitate in front of my door, wondering if she should knock or not. He's got a point there! Earlier, round 1. You had yourself killed in front of Jiao Mu and Big Sister Yuan Chun, didn't you? You revived yourself in front of them too, I presume. Yeah. Why even go that far, huh? What's gotten into you, brother? Family hierarch? Really? Why now? Why all of a sudden? I could tell, just from that look on your face, that you couldn't care less about becoming something like the family hierarch. Is that really it? Is that really it? That they told you to do it? Shi-chun, imagine just for the sake of it. What if our actual goal isn't to come in first place? Do you seriously expect me to believe that? Right? Totally. Heck, I wouldn't buy that either. Anyways, I'm not here to ally or parley with you. I'm never ever doing anything like that with you again, brother. It'll be nighttime soon, you know. And your room's always been so dark because you barely let so much as a ray of moonlight in. It seems like she's warned us that we'll be visited by some uninvited guests soon. Yeah, knowing they're letting you, a sudden unforeseen variable, spend the night in peace. But didn't they warn us earlier that round 2 candidates are prohibited from hurting each other? I see. The only thing that matters is the exact wording of the law, not the spirit of it. Right, they won't intervene as long as a candidate's not trying to kill a fellow candidate, literally, with their own hands. So don't trust anyone, even your maidservants. Thanks for coming here in person, Shi-chun. Tomorrow we'll really be enemies. I know it's too late to change anything, but tomorrow... Shi-chun stumbled over her words, trailed off, then turned around and left as though she swallowed what she wanted to say.
사실 아가씨께서 여기로
She expressed as a
발걸음하자고
wish
하셨어요.
to visit you herself. I made 3 attempts to talk her out of it.
저의 위치에서 3번이나 말린
It was
것은
highly impertinent of someone of my station to advise against her 3 times, yes, but
그만큼 아가씨께서
I implore you all to know that her choice to come here was not an easy one.
알아주시니
실례인 질문일 수도
I know this
있지만
question can sound a bit nosy, but
상황은 좀
are things okay over there?
최선을
We will face the
다해냈습니다.
trial to the best of our abilities.
부디 마주칠 일이 없길.
I wish with all my heart that our paths will not cross tomorrow,
동감이요.
and I share this sentiment.
저들과는
I wish not to ever bring harm to them, or they to us in turn.
그래서
Well,
마음대로
that's not think of gone as we wished, eh? But Heathcliff sounded just as uneasy. Intruders? How'd they get in? Intrude a window. Seven, huh?
내 명을 들은 시비수 결집이다.
Why is the voice warbling like that? Oh, moon, once it waxes, it wanes. Oh, water, once it fills, it overflows. For all lights must go out, the night is still. It's time. Sharpen your senses. Hey, what are some unknown infiltration routes in this building that our enemies could use?
일단 상대 쪽에서
Anywhere,
암살을
really,
하겠다고
as long as the assassin's willing to put their mind to it.
한 번은 침대
Was this one time when one of them suddenly appeared from under my bed?
그건
That sounds kind of terrifying. Yoshi was leisurely puffing her cigarette as the sitters were looking around and, in full alert, suddenly pointed up. Up. The ceiling. Someone just landed above us. Ah, so if they're hiding at the ceiling, there must be more waiting for us just out the door. Hungley spoke casually as though he was expecting to have them join us for tea or something. Impressive. You're pretty sharp. The sitters all whipped around and swung their weapons toward the voice, but the assassin dodged back with ease and chugged from a gourd in his hand. What? This smells like... Is that saw drinking on the job? Give me a break. I'm an old guy within a night shift. I say I deserve a drink. Target's young master Jab Bao Yu. Let's go quick and call it a night. With that, the enemies began flooding into the room. So he's a drunken master, eh?
이상이요. 행색이 이상하나. 그럼에도 이상이요. 내가 맞서. 내가
Of course, they're all.
시의
Oh,
이상을
shit.
호위 이상이요.
Of course. None of those who are able to intercept any of them. Ooh.
일기당천.
무상은 없음. 불끈 지원해.
Well, that's just what unbreakable coins are for.
저 행수를 도려내라. 물러나라. 네 목숨은 아직 따로 쓸 곳이 있다. 적을 물어뜯고 너의 쓸모를 보여라.
Huh. Alright.
될까?
시비수에게 명하노라.
막아내지 못하리.
이 앞에 숨지는 자 누구 도끼를 거저 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나 저 해충들을 도려내라. 묘여 문제 발견.
시간 끌 것 없이 모두를 지워버리죠.
Alright, so who's he gonna come up with this time?
탕류의 허덕이 저 혈액도
Ooh, nice!
거저 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나 유라니야 죽도록 달릴 시간이다.
Huh, that's odd.
목을 내놓고 있도록.
It's good that it could make that he's got favorable. The odds are in his favor, but it's still kind of odd. Oh man. And for the longest time, I thought the icon for sinking was supposed to be kind of a bullhead for some reason, but no, it's a closed eye, weeping tears.
개의치 않고 말씀을.
Ah, dang. Only one turn left on Starter Mao. No way to replenish it. Ooey.
일기당천.
깨우치시게.
넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나. 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나. 넘고 무슨 넘고 얼마든지 먹고 제쳐라.
I know your eyes did not deceive you. Yes,
오늘
Heathcliff was indeed mounted up on a headless wolf.
세우는 데 일조하였으니 내일은 더 떳떳이 살아갈 수 있겠군요.
You need a lot of those, and those too.
사냥감인가? 몸이 끓어오르는군. 이상이요. 행색이 이상하나 그럼에도 이상이요. 내가 맞소. 내가 아시의 이상을 함께 줬던 호위 이상이요.
That's what I thought. It wasn't being honest, but it said struggling.
목을 콱 물어버리자.
시비수기 명한다. 이 앞에 숨쉬지 마. 누구 하나 들보내지 마라. 진속을 떨궈주마.
Or that they all stayed on the field.
시간 끌 것 없이 모조리 지워버리죠.
물 넘고 꺾고 제차.
무상한 목숨. 불끈을 지원했군.
도끼를 보내라. 저 해충들을 도려내라.
틈을 깨우치시게.
묘야. 길을 열어라.
Okay. Next round. Wait, how's everybody doing health-wise? I had a hunch you'd end up taking a bit of a beating. Regrettable. Most regrettable.
깔끔하게 물었군.
Or taking the full force of a 4-coin skill is going to do that.
넌 품을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
At least it wasn't a 5-coin skill. Would have been worse. Just one turn left, eh? That's what I thought. Hmm. $30, huh? He says 0 SP. Okay, so yeah, I'd probably be able to not muscle that one.
일기당천. 그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데. 바람 불어오는 데다. 재빨리 말.
Good, good. Wait. Not so good.
불가 위야. 마당의 전사에
뱀으로 꿰뚫어
유하군요.
저 해충들을
이걸로 충분해. 너한텐 멀겠지만. 이제 깨우치시길.
사요.
이 거리면 충분해. 너한텐 조금 멀겠지만. 어머, 놀랐어?
혈압도 바로
Okay. And it's just those two left. Darn mouse.
목을 콱 물어버리자고. 이제 깨우치시길.
목을 떨궈주마. 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
오늘 부끄럽지 않았습니다. 의를 바로 세우는 데 일조하였으니 내일은 더 떳떳이 살아갈 수
It's
있겠군요.
25 each for those. Yeah. Yep. 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 Let's check something. Alright. Okay, good. That's available. The fact that's available is also good. Pride, Gloom, and Sloth. Alright. Gloom, Envy, and Pride. Okay. Wait. Defense. Defense, okay. Sloth, fragility, and two paralyze. Actually, the paralyze could come in right up there handy. Oh yeah. Roll with it. Wait. Okay, so her level is a bit low. Roll with it.
총의 이름으로 지금 이곳에 등장!
Ooh, what? Still working on it?
사유하라는
It
놈도
seems that we are continually underestimated by our foes. She Hua made the same mistake. You didn't seriously think that we'd be defeated by such a pathetic force, did you? Oh, wow. You're giving me an early hangover. This is compared to that little troublemaker of the She family, will you?
조심하세요, 오티스.
Be careful, Otis. His combat capabilities are leagues beyond those of his companions.
혼자서 여유를 부리는
So that's why he's so sure of himself. I see.
소속과 이름을
Identify your name and allegiance.
이 바닥에서 그런 걸
Really? You think I just tell you all that if you ask nicely? Okay, this line of business. I have no name nor allegiance to give you, friend. Though I have no name to give, I have a title that others took the liberty of giving me. You tend to pick up one or two of those after surviving for so long.
한 손에는 술병을 들고
He who emerges with the liquor bottle, fade into the nightly shadow. What is disdain to call the night drifter of the drunken palm?
이상이요. 행색이 이상하나. 그럼에도 이상이요. 내가 맞소. 내가 아시의 이상을 함께 줬던 호위 이상이요.
Hey, done. There we go. Oh shoot, he's not fast enough. Really did not luck out with the rolls this time. Oh, the speed rolls, whatever. Gain one swig. Max attack 5. Turn into 3 sec heal 3% HP. Core part at 5 sec gain 3 attack power up in 2 fragile next turn. Oh boy. We have the open throat chugging. Intoxicated leaning.
시비수에게 명한다. 이 앞에 숨쉬는 자
Oh, come on!
사이를 보내지 마라.
무상은 없음.
Kidding me?
불끈한 지원은
I don't think so. Oh, come on!
충분해. 너한테 조금 멀겠지만.
Oh, he does have that. Okay, good.
전장에서 촌딱처럼 두리번거리고 있다가 피가 끓어오른 투개에게 쪼아먹힐 테니까.
Okay, so he does have skills that can cause him to lose swig. Well, I guess I shouldn't really be face palming at a skill and at like some kind of technique being called Way of the Open-Throated Chugging. I mean, I've seen a work titled Way of the House Husband, so good series, by the way. Well, crap.
불가 위야. 막아내지.
도끼를 보라. 저 해충들을 도려내라.
틈틈.
모험하군.
The heck?
뭐라 너? 더는 못 따라나.
뜻을 이루기까지 죽으며 한 번 더 나를 비껴가라.
It seems like I would need a sinking team for this, which I don't have one that's up to snuff.
이래서는
Not out of ideas, though.
지난날과 다를 바가 무엇인지 떠오르는 해가 부끄럽군요.
And among other things... Wait. Oh. I can still get 80 from this. Wait. Bah. I know the risks. I've been through that.
행색이 이상하나 그럼에도 이상이여 내가 맞서 내가 아시의 이상을 함께 줬던 일기당천 그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데
敵に対して大きな打撃を与えました
고작 이 정도 당연히
このままいけば敵を食い止められます
시간 끌 것 없이 모조리 치워버리죠.
말로 받아보라 저 해충들을 도려내
Can't believe I forgot about the hard mode for these stages.
거꾸로 제 차례
効果的な攻撃でしたダンテさんの作戦とても効果的でした
깔끔하게 물었군
敵は深手を負っています
자 12순기 쪽겠지 잘 생각해보라고 살려보지 마라
I like that sort of rumbling clang that you get whenever there's a tremor burst.
거꾸로 제 차례
허술하게
넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나
Or just a rumbling, whichever.
뱀으로 거작 이 정도 탕루의 허덕이 저 해충들을 도려내라
Pop goes the weasel! Ooh, 124, not bad.
길을 열어 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나 깔끔하게 물었군
敵は深手を負っています
시간 끌 것 없이
넌
모조리
푸름을
치워버리죠.
틔울 수도 없겠구나 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나
First off, head pats for the cute little bunny girl.
또 한 줄 길을 남겼군 핏물진 길일 뿐이지만
Good, good. Oh wait, I didn't need to exit out of that, did I?
홍어는
Oopsie!
크게 알게 되겠지 이 홍로가 무엇을 바꾸었는지를
Yes, hard mode for a strictly story level. How exactly would that work anyway? Like, if it was a genuinely hard mode, like, how would that work? Been there, done that.
의로움을 세우기 위해서라면. 잠깐, 이번 임무는 내가 나갈게. 괜찮지?
보는 눈은 있네요. 여기서 좀
걸맞는 곳이어야.
주인놈
맡겨두시게!
나를 불렀나? 카니발 타임.
이상이요. 행색이 이상하나.
Alright.
그럼에도 이상이요. 내가 맞서. 내가 아시의 이상을 함께 줬던 호위 이상이요.
목을 콱 물어버리자. 무상한 목숨. 불끈을 지원했군.
Let's see. Probably won't be necessary. Probably. But just in case.
일기당천에게 명한다.
지식이.
누구 하나
어머, 놀랐어.
말로 받았다. 넌 푸름을 틔우시. 저 해줄들을 도려내. 길을 열어. 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나. 물론고.
최근은 좋았어.
I'm gonna test something with some of the party compositions with the Hey Show pack.
날개를 펼치고 태풍을 걸어. 떨어졌지. 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나. 마음 놓고 떨어졌지고. 그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
이 거리는 충분해. 너한테 멀겠지만.
조심하시죠. 전장에서 촌딱처럼 두리번거리고 일기당천. 피가 끓어오르는 게임에 쪼아볼 테니까.
So many colors.
좀 추석네.
혈압도 바로.
Well, he's gonna get smoked. Or it, I guess.
목을 콱 물어버리자고.
또 한 줄 길을 남겼군. 핏물진 길. 세월이 지나면 홍호는 그제야 알게 되겠지. 이 홍로가 무얼 바꾸었는지를.
Yeah, so it was the first of the Heisho Pack identities, so that was the one that was prioritized.
흑수, 오필두, 이
주인놈
걸맞는
나를 불렀나? 헌팅 커틀러리 준비 끝.
이상이요. 행색이 이상하나 그럼에도 이상이요. 내가 맞서. 내가 아시의 이상을 함께 줬던 호위 이상이요.
Go with the defensive skill anyway.
불가 위
Now, if my hunch is right, he's gonna combo with Gregor.
뱀으로 고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이야. 저 해충들을 도려내라. 쪽방향이 아닐 텐데. 사요.
Seems this hunch of mine is right. It's based on the order of the party composition.
이 정도 탕류의 허덕이야. 몸을 틔울 수도 없고.
시간 끌 것 없이 모든 지워버리죠.
여러 적
무상한 목숨 불끈 지원했군.
깔끔하게 몰았군. 그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데. 진 목을 떨고 주마. 자, 어찌든지 잘 생각해보라고. 이건 예상 못했나봐. 그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
Question though is that after that first one, does it just kind of go on down the line?
이거리는 충분해. 너한텐 조금 멀겠지만.
Come on. Darn mouse.
일기당천. 진 목을 떨고 주마. 고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이다. 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나. 토끼를 보러 넌 푸름을 틔우. 저 해충들을 도려내라. 묘여. 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나. 하나 넘고 물 넘고 제철. 깔끔하게 몰았군.
Mission accomplished.
Man.
또 한 줄 길을 남겼고 핏물진 길일 뿐이지. 세월이 지나면 홍호는 그제야 알게 되겠지. 이 홍로가 무엇을 바꾸었는지를.
$50 would be the absolute minimum, but I'd probably want him to be a little higher than that.
이런 임무는 뱀 중에서도 내가 제일이지.
There's a reason I usually try to reserve any grinding for between streams, folks.
먹을
Doesn't exactly make for the best entertainment, you know.
제철.
Yeah, gotcha.
이 거리는 충분해. 너한텐 멀겠지만. 불가
12수에게 명한다.
마감지.
이 앞에 숨쉬는 자 누구 하나 보내지. 예상 못했나봐. 혈압도 바로. 뱀으로 꿰뚫어라. 저 해충들을 도려내. 쪽방이 아닐 텐데. 사여. 길을 열어. 고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나.
What does that say? Shooting something? I can't quite make out what that second word is. Yes, it's bothering me. Why shouldn't it?
날개를 펼치 목을 떨고 걸어. 넌 풀을 틔울 수도 없겠구나. 그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
Fixed it.
목을 콱 물어버리자.
정도 탕류의 허덕이나.
주먹을 콱 물어버리자.
넌 푸름을
Alright.
틔울 수도 없겠구나. 그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데. 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나. 죽었네. 다음은 너. 죽었네. 다음은 어디로? 또 한 줄 길을 남겼군. 핏물진 길일 뿐이지.
Okay. Alright. Well, that gets her to 50. Not gonna be nearly enough with her. I was expecting some kind of Spanish Inquisition. Well, there's been a trio of guys in red outfits bursting through the door, so I think I'm good.
보는 눈은 있네요.
걸만
주인놈 나를 불렀나?
그때서 내려. 전장으로.
Ah, yes, that's right.
행색이
This is a
이상하다.
focused encounter.
그럼에도 이상이여. 내가 봤어. 내가 아시의 이상을 함께 줬던 호위 이상이여.
Right.
시비수에게 명한다. 이 앞에 숨쉬는 자 누구 하나
Oh, come on! That's what I thought.
혈역도 바로.
There we go.
무상한 목숨. 지원해.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Make some extra SP every freaking turn. Oh, too slow. There. Too slow, that's right. Philly!
자, 어느 쪽일지 잘 생각해보라고. 정작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나.
Yeah, this level could be a bit of a slog.
놀랐어?
I think I staggered that guy with the cell injection skill at the ready.
물론고. 꺾고 제차. 이건 예상 못했나봐.
Hey, there we go.
날개를 펼치고 발톱을 걸어.
That's one down. Time for you to get yours, Fabius Bile.
저 해충들을 도려내라. 쪽방향 아닐 텐데. 사형. 길을 열어라.
이 거리면 충분해. 너한테 지금 멀겠지만.
That's 2. And that was it. Well, dang.
목을 콱 물어버리자고.
Oh, come on! At least my party's in good shape.
목을 콱 물어버리자고.
Okay.
바람 불어오는데요.
That takes care of that one.
예상 못했나봐. 목을
So much for his right of liberation.
좀 수상해.
어디로? 또 한 줄 길을 남겼군. 핏물진 길일 뿐이지만 세월이 지나면 홍호는 그제야 알게 되겠지. 이 홍로가 무엇을 바꾸었는지.
Whoopsie, wrong one.
어디서?
의로움을
흑수, 오필두. 걸머.
주인 맡겨두시게. 나를 불렀나?
이런 임무는
It'll work.
내가 제일이지.
이상이요. 행색이 이상하나 그래도 이상이요. 내가 맞서
25 of them. Oy.
아시의 이상을 함께 줬던 호위 이상이요.
목을 콱 밀어버리잖아.
이 앞에 승천자 다른 달고자 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이 저 혈압도 바로 고려내라.
Yeah, it's definitely the order.
이 거리면 충분해. 너한테 조금 멀겠지만. 무상은 목숨. 불끝에 지원했군.
Well, that ain't gonna do the trick. Might as well finish it off. Oh, yeah. Right. Find that. Oh, shit. Even that's not gonna work. Bowie!
자, 어느 쪽일지 잘 생각해보라고.
fight.
혈액도 봐라. 뭐라면 없어. 더는 못 따라나.
거슬하게 지금은 좋았어요.
There we go.
불가 위험
목을 떨고 싶어.
막아내지 못하리.
넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
Our sanity's back at the positive. Should especially be the case now that she smoked an enemy.
혈액도 봐라.
그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
제철.
How to retaliate if we're staggered? Okay. Right idea. I hate these things. Such a royal pain. Smoked it. Still wasn't enough. I don't know, should I? Nah. Hang on. How's that both the ego I got are gloom? I mean, this one I can kind of get, because that's what was available through the event. But it just so happened that one I randomly pulled from the dispenser was also gloom? What are the odds, man? No, seriously, what are the odds? I haven't bothered to run the numbers. Oh, I guess that might have something to do with it. Alright, just one, huh?
전장에서 촌딱처럼 두리번거리고 있다간 피가 끓어오른 두 개에게 쪼아먹힐 테니까.
Okay, so she's got 2 turns left on Strutter Mal. Might be a better idea to use that though for the assist defense. That just might be the difference between smoking it and not.
목을 콱 물어버리자고.
목을 떨고 주마.
Seems I messed up.
깨우치시게.
깔끔하게 몰았군.
시도는 좋았어요.
Oh, just die already! Seriously? Something ain't right there. That's what I thought. Darn game is bullshitting me. I know it might look like a game. I know it might look like a mushroom to some people, but I don't see how it would look like a mushroom to a freaking game. Do I look like something to keep in the dark event? Bullshit! I don't know why, but for some reason, for a while, I thought Arknights was like a strategy RPG, kind of like Final Fantasy Tactics. Didn't realize it was a tower defense game until I actually checked the TV tropes page.
마음 놓고 열어젖히고
몰아넣었으니 더는 못 따라나.
이걸로 충분해. 너한텐 지금 멀겠지만.
Nice. Okay. Good, good.
일기당천
바로 이제 깨지시게.
넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
어머, 몰라 생생투성이네.
넘고 무수히 넘고 내 앞을
무상은
달리시오. 아시다, 능 그리할 수 있어.
불끈 지원할 뿐. 최근은 좋았어요.
There we go.
저번에 약속한 거 안 잊었지, 죽은? 그 외에 임무를 성공적으로 100번만 수행하면 죽은? 설마 소유권을 벌써 다 쓴 거야? 말도 안 돼. 이건 약속이랑 다르잖아.
How bad could it be? Oh, I should not have said that.
사랑과 정의 이름으로 지금 이곳에 등장!
이상이요. 행색이 이상하나 그럼에도 이상이요. 내가 맞서. 내가
What the heck?
아시의
Try and smoke that darn thing. Oh, wait.
이상이요.
Might have better change my switch who I'm using instead. Or switch who he's going to combo with. Gonna have to shuffle a bit.
이래서는 범인이었던 지난 날과
Alright.
다를 바가 무엇인지 떠오르는 해가
Do.
죽음께서 어디서?
잠깐.
흑수
보는 눈은 있네요.
걸먼
주인
맡겨두시게.
나를 불렀나?
There we go.
모든 직선을 직선으로 질주하겠소. 이상이요.
Ah, dang. Oh well.
행색이 이상하나 그럼에도 이상이요. 내가 맞서. 내가 아시의 이상을 함께 줬던 호위 이상이요.
먹을 콱 물어버리자고.
Sure, this background music sounds like it could be like straight out of the soundtrack for Tron Legacy almost. At least it does to me. I know it doesn't look. It's probably not the kind of thing that Def Jam would. I think that's what they're called. Would put together. Their music tends to be a little more high energy, doesn't it?
몰아넣었으니 너는 못 따라나.
무상한 목숨. 불끈을 지원할 뿐.
Okay, good. Smoke 'em.
자, 시비수에게 목적일지 잘 생각해보라. 숨쉬는 자, 누구나 살려보지 마라. 도끼를 본다. 저 해충들을 도려내라.
틈을 끊어 바로.
묘여, 길을 열어라. 마음 놓고 열어젖히고.
Well, crap. That did not go as planned. Oh, wait, it did. Never mind. Uh, 25, and I've got 12 more turns to, well, 13 counting this one.
시간 끌 것 없이 모조리 키워버리죠.
틈을 끊어 바로.
목을 떨궈주마.
혈염도 바로 와.
She must smoke salmon.
어머, 놀랐어?
Okay. And looks like I'll be able to get it done at the time limit. Or turn limit.
열어졌지고. 뭐라는 죽었네. 넌 어디로?
How is his sanity lower than the others? And by so much. I don't know, that might do it. Wait. Nope, 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 nope. Okay, yes.
불가 위야. 마감이
Ha! Gotcha.
목을 떨고 주마.
Eh.
고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나.
놀랐어?
Nope. Oh, great! Another one of those. $312. I think that should do it.
일기당천. 물넘고 꺾고 제쳐라.
I think that staggered it.
그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
거슬하게. 지금은 좋았어.
That should do the trick there. Okay.
당천. 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
이제 깨우치시게.
Ha! Called it.
이건 예상 못했나 봐.
Nope.
이 거리면 충분해. 너한텐 조금 멀겠지만.
Alright, so it looks like these will be the last 7. What the heck?
시간 끌 것 없이 모조리 지워버리죠.
마음 놓고 열어젖히고.
I thought it, Ten Tiangju Starblade is supposed to turn into her skill 3. Oh, the upgraded version of her skill 3.
깔끔하게 물었군. 자, 어느 쪽일지 잘 생각해보라고.
깨우치시게.
혈압도 바로.
Wait, it's actually necessary to take that thing out?
오늘 부끄럽지 않았습니다.
I guess I shouldn't be too surprised.
내일은 더 떳떳이 살아갈 수 있겠군요.
Okay. Derp. Okay. This might not be quite enough. I meant those tickets. as a pretty good chunk of the game goes into. Derp.
필두, 출진.
Just managing your sinners and all that. Well, then again, you're playing as the executive manager for this branch of Limbus company, so I guess that makes sense. Oh, okay. Okay. That's what it does.
날개를 펼치고 더블 컴보.
It's probably meant to be used with a lot of the Kanto 8 identities because they have a lot of... Almost every single one of them has a gluttony skill.
불가 위야. 마당에서 못하게.
그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
That's one down.
도끼를 보내라.
That's two.
저 해충들을 도려내라.
틈틈. 바로 이제
Three.
묘야.
This will probably make four.
길을 열어라.
And... Brack. Thought there was gonna be five. My mistake.
목을 콱 물어버리자.
이 앞에 숨쉬는 자. 하나 사이를 놓지 마라.
이 거리는 충분해. 너한테 멀겠지만.
떨고 주마. 고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나. 깔끔하게 물었군.
Yeah, that's something you don't see very often. So with two skill slots getting their third skill in both.
목을 콱 물어버리자.
물 넘고 꺾이는 제철. 고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나. 넌 푸름을 틔울 수 혈압도 바로. 또 한 줄에 길을 남겼구나. 핏물진 길.
몇 명 놓치긴 했지만 주살독을 맞은 이상
Okay, More tickets!
떼서 내려. 전장으로.
Good grief.
불가 위야
도끼를 보여라.
막아내지 못하리.
Huh?
해충들을 도려내라.
Oh.
물넘고 꺾고 제쳐라.
이 거리면 충분해. 너한텐 멀겠지만.
묘야.
For a bit I thought it was Rodion comboing with him. Don't get me wrong, this Rupture team has been serving me well, but the Sinking team's going to be better.
12쇄기. 이야. 이런 예상 못했나봐. 빨리 보내지 마라. 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
At least for a lot of the tough battles that I go up against. Yeah, that fixes it. Huh.
목을 콱 물어버리자.
혈염도 바로. 날개를 펼치고 목을 떨고 가라.
넌 예상 못했나봐. 없겠구나.
혈염도 바로.
좀 수상해. 깨우치시게.
날개를 펼치고 발톱을 걸어.
고작 이 정도 탕류에 허덕.
놀랐어?
바람자 이 정도 탕류. 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없
아닐 텐데. 깔끔하게 물었군.
또 한 줄 키를 남겼군. 핏물진
How much more grinding I'm gonna have to do? I might as well call the stream here. Probably also be streaming Hollow Knight Silk Song for at least a few days. As well. Hang on. yeah. I've got a game in mind for a Halloween special this year. Fortunately, it's in the budget because I bought it last year. But as always, folks, thank you for watching. Peace be with you this day and always.